one of the secrets to success is surrounding yourself with successful people. Now, it'd be nice if all you can do is invite successful people in and that's all you have. But that's not the real world. A teacher can't just pick the students that come in the class. As a manager or leader, you just can't pick those employees that walk into your business. You can a little, but for the most part, you're stuck with what you got. How do you make them successful? How can you take those people? Well, actually, you can't make them successful. So I'm sorry, we've tried. We've told them what to do. We've told them how to be successful. And guess what? No success. But what you can do is you can create and build an environment that expects success, that in fact could demand success from your people. And you don't do that with a big stick. You do that with communication. How and what you communicate. Successful communication is 3 parts. The first part, and probably the most important, is that you always communicate in the direction of what you want to happen. We only have the future that we can change. We have to be right now, and we have to be focused in a direction. They talk about a journey of 1,000 miles, starting with a single step. But if you step backwards, it becomes 1,000 miles and 1 step backwards. You've got to step forward in the direction of your journey. Don't look back. You're not going that way. Spend your time focused in the direction of what you want to happen. How many of you in the audience have taken driver's training or driver's ed at one point? Some of you a long time ago. Others maybe recently. There's something you learned in driver's training that can help you now. Not just driving, but in your communication. It's called RVM. What's RVM? You probably recognize this, the rear view mirror. When you were taught in your driver's training or driver's ed class, how do you use the rear view mirror? You weren't taught to look at it and keep looking at it and seeing what's going on behind you and drive forward while you're looking in the rear view mirror. No. You were taught to glance at the mirror, see and scan what was behind you quickly, and then look back forward and ask yourself in your mind, was there anything behind me that could interfere with me going forward? That's how you use a rearview mirror. I know that's true because I used it wrong once, and it was scary. When I was 17, 1968, don't do the math. I was driving down the San Diego 405 freeway in Los Angeles. And the freeways of Los Angeles have 2 speeds, 80 and 0. I started at 80 and soon had to go to 0. I stopped in time. I did not hit the car in front of me. But then I looked in my rear view mirror. There, coming behind me, was a semi. And I could see him slamming on his brakes. I'm not sure whether the tires are smoking, but in my mind they were. And he got so close when he finally stopped, all I could see was his grill. Because I was so focused on that mirror. Now the other part of drivers is how to make direction work. And there's a secret. No, it's not a secret. It's been around a long time. We just ignored it. It's called how to use questions. Now, there's some people that use questions for one reason. Let's say, let's say you're a detective and you have a suspect. And you put the suspect in the seat and you drop that hot lamp over their head. And you turn to them and say, why did you kill Professor Plum in the garden room with the candlestick? That's questioning. Let's talk about the physical part first. We have been taught that when we manage people or we discuss issues, it's face-to-face, mano a mano. We've got to tell them that way. If not, they're not going to believe us, or that's just the way we've been taught. That's the way it is. Well, that's the way it shouldn't be. Because the issue usually isn't between you and them. So if you're going face to face, you've added all that extra detail that isn't important to the issue. Sally hasn't turned in her homework for a week. Teacher comes up to Sally's desk and looks down at Sally, why haven't you done your homework? Well, the obvious answer, of course, is my dog ate it. Or the best answer actually is, I don't know. Because at least they're not defending themselves. Either way, you've got things to deal with that really aren't going to help you. And you have to deal with it because you asked the question. Instead, if the question was, you sit down next to her, and you sit down and you take out a piece of paper, and on that piece of paper says, ideas to get homework done on time. You've structured the question. You've created an environment that expects them to answer, that expects them to be successful, and that expects them to take responsibility. And when you have successful communication, people become successful. When they become successful, you become successful. Thank you.